First impressions are he was basically playing catch. So there is absolutely, as Taylor said, nothing to indicate that he can or cannot be the guy. What were my first impressions? That he is as advertised. He's enthusiastic. He fills the suit out better than the last number 10. He's got a good arm. His feet are kind of messed up. He's robotic as he tries to process what he's trying to do. And Joe Milton's arm blows his away. All the things that I presume the Patriots drafted him for were the things that he can do going forward. So we're going to see a little ball of clay. And people have to understand that when we say, what are we looking at? We're going to say it's a ball of clay that the Patriots are going to try and turn into a franchise quarterback. Do you agree with that? I mean, he's not a franchise quarterback. JJ McCarthy today is a better player than Drake Maye. He is a better football player. He better get blown away by the results of Drake Maye's improvement. But right now, he's not better than any of the guys who were drafted around him.
Okay, so that actually leads – I'll give my take, but that kind of leads into another question that's on here. So we'll transition. Tom, why don't you want a quarterback with a cannon for an arm? I thought the arm of a JJ or Mac was not something you liked. So obviously I think this is kind of in jest. But at the end of the day, what is the take so that our listeners can understand why you're still more on the JJ McCarthy bandwagon than Drake Maye at this point in their careers?
Because JJ McCarthy's arm is absurdly good. It's not even comparable to Mac Jones. You watch the Ohio State game where he throws one pass behind the ear of a dropping linebacker who just turned his back through to basically a tiny window from 40 yards. It never gets more than 8 feet off the ground. Absolute laser. Then you watch, I think it was Alabama, where he throws a 60-yard pass from his own 40 with a flick of the wrist, and that one never gets 30 feet above ground sea level. To me, anyone who's saying that JJ McCarthy doesn't have enough arm isn't understanding what JJ McCarthy's all about. I like JJ McCarthy because he's a better athlete in terms of foot speed and elusiveness than Drake Maye. I like him better because of the arm strength and knowing where it's going. Not saying that he's got a better arm than Drake Maye. I'd call it much closer to a dead friggin' heat, though, than people understand. I like him more because of his footwork and polish, and I like him more because his team wins a lot. And you saw a North Carolina team that started out 6-0 and finished 7-4, and at the end of the season, Drake Maye was at his worst. Do I think Drake Maye is going to suck? Absolutely not. I think he could conceivably, if all boxes are checked, be just like Drew Bledsoe. Good quarterback, promising quarterback, goes to some Pro Bowls, but his accuracy ends up holding him back. So that's my JJ McCarthy pitch, which is more supportive of him than hating on Drake. But I do have that arrow in my quiver if he does not improve.
Testing my skills on Prize Picks this season is the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps. Use the code CLNS for the first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
And I will say, I do like that you're highlighting the things about JJ McCarthy's game that people don't give him credit for. One, he is a really good athlete. I think he and Drake are different. I definitely think there are areas of like running where JJ's better, but then Drake, I think, is also like led his team in rushing as a freshman. He's still a pretty good athlete. At the same time, I think the inaccuracy stuff kind of plays to both sides, where I will say McCarthy's more accurate, especially underneath. Like he's pretty automatic there. But I think when you get downfield and outside especially is where you start to worry, because like 100%. I was hurting the guy and like the crossers, beautiful. And he's, I think, a great example of the difference between arm strength and arm talent, where I would say, yeah, McCarthy has fantastic arm strength. But if you watch, like I would have like a compilation of his deep throws, it's one speed. We're really
100%.
Great back shoulder. And you're like, oh, that was awesome. But it's like, oh, now he's hitting the defender in the back of the head. He can't put this. Can he put it over the guy? Where it's you start to wonder, where is it a physical limitation? Whereas Drake, you see the inaccuracy, but you've also seen him make the throw multiple times. It's more, all right, repeat it, but you can make any throw. So for me, that's where the kind of difference is, where McCarthy has plenty of things he needs to work on. Like even
can you throw a wheel route? Like for instance, Drake Maye, I bet, throws a better wheel route at this point than JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
How many wheel routes are you going to throw in the course of a game? How many slants? How many in cuts? how many digs. You're going to throw more of those. JJ McCarthy does it better. And we saw on Saturday, didn't we, a little bit with Drake Maye? They're running digs, they're running comebacks, they're running slants, and the ball is complete, but it's complete here.
Right.
Or it's complete here.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that make a difference. But the funny thing is, and that's why this is such a fun job, you can say that Mac Jones was a more accurate quarterback than anybody in the last draft. But as he got more and more unsure of himself, everything turned into a friggin' changeup. I mean, wasn't it unbelievable, some of the things that he decided to put air under?
Yeah, it was rough, especially that Dallas game. There was the first mistake he made that was really bad. I remember being like, whoa, that was like whiplash. I've never seen him do that like in college. Yeah. Let's give him another shot. And by the end of the game, I don't know if you were following my tweets that day. I was like mentally unraveling where I'm just like, I've never seen this from an NFL quarterback. This is insane. Even Cam Newton, you know, for all his struggles, like we never saw anything like that. So
yeah, that was the confluence of average athleticism and bad decision making.
Yep.
And that's what you get.
Very
you can't compete against Trayvon Diggs or who's the dude? Bland? Is it Bland?
Yeah, Deron Bland. Yeah.
You can't compete against those guys throwing 71.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I still agree. I think Drake is more pro ready, but I also understand why JJ is in the conversation, like especially with that.
Is he more pro ready because of the measurables, or is he more pro ready because of what his talent is on today, May 12th, or whatever it is?
For Drake, I think it's one, he has the talent to do anything you ask him. Like, playbook is wide open from day one. That's the biggest thing. I don't think that's true with JJ. I think with JJ, you're projecting that you can have the playbook wide open, but you're like, oh, he has the talent. We just got to get him there. With Drake, I think
the inverse is true.
Really?
I think the inverse is true. I think I would trust JJ McCarthy more to do more things for me at this juncture than Drake Maye. And I bet some of that has to do with coaching. Yeah. And one guy played with Jim Harbaugh for however long, and the other guys had rotating coaches and an offensive coordinator change. So I think that I would trust JJ McCarthy more right now today.
Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets at Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code CLNS and get $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed.